What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stevie the Black, STEVEE, the Black. I'm back, and I'm here to give you for the first time in 4 years, 4 years, my Monday Night Raw review. Um, like I said, it's been 4 years, man. When I was going through my video channel yesterday, and I was looking at some old playlists and updating the channel, making it look better. Um, I was just like, wow, bro, I've come a long way. So I just want you to forgive me if I seem a little, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say rusty because I still review things. So, but it'll just take me a while to get back in the swing of things of doing this every Tuesday, right? So here we go. It was quite an interesting Monday Night Raw, to say the least. First Monday Night Raw back. So, Raw kicks off with Becky Lynch. She comes to the ring not with the Women's Championship, but with the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase. She says she has to go away for a while and that she's going to miss this, and she didn't think her life and her career would get this far, that anybody would care, but we've all come to know and love her. Um, in the 7 years that she's been here, she said she came in 2013. Anyway, Asuka comes out and she's mad because she's like, yo, why, in her own Japanese language, she's like, why do you have my briefcase? And she's like, Becky was like, look, I understand you haven't been able to get in here, and there's a reason for that. And she opens the briefcase and she said, you weren't fighting for an opportunity to become, for an opportunity at a chance for a match with the women's champion. You became the women's champion. She opens the briefcase and boom, it is revealed that the championship was in there, and Asuka is the new Raw Women's Champion. On a side note, Asuka has won every championship in WWE now, so she is the second Grand Slam champion after Bayley. So congratulations, Asuka. She definitely deserves it. She has been on fire since the whole COVID-19 thing, so well deserved. I know some will say it should have been Shayna Baszler, which I don't disagree with, but at WrestleMania. But hey, this is good too. It's not like she doesn't deserve it. Anyway, um, Becky says she's proud of her and she knows that she's gonna be a warrior because she's gonna go be a mom. She's gonna go be a mother, and it's just wow. It's shocking to me. Becky Lynch is going to be a mom, and when I heard this, I was shocked because my first reaction is, why? Not why as in, but more like, not why, like why would you do this, but I guess why? Why would you do this? You know, you're on the top of your career. It's the best time of your career. Why essentially stop that to go? It's not like you're a doctor or any other thing. You're an athlete. Like, you'll never be the same after this, you know? And it's kind of like when Michael Jordan retired, you know, after his three-peat, his first three-peat. And people were like, why would you do this? You know, you're on top. You're the best. This makes no sense. Why retire, you know? But it was her and Seth's choice, you know, and I know they're going to be happy and they're going to be great parents and everything. And it's just, I'm just like, wow, I'm so shocked. I'm so shocked. But congratulations to Becky and Seth on the child, on your unborn child. It's interesting to see, though, because, you know, Seth, he's still going to be able to have his career, but Becky, she's not. And that's, will we ever see her again? I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm sure we're going to see her again, but if she ever comes back, she's going to be a part-timer because, you know, based on your own mother or if you're married or whatever, once she has that kid, man, she cannot be attached from them very long. She's not gonna be apart from them for very long. She's gonna want to come back. She's gonna want to be with them. So it could be years until we see Becky Lynch. At least maybe until next year, at the very, very least. You know, maybe she might be backstage for a segment or two, and we see the baby bump. But yeah, what a way to kick off Raw. You know, very, very interesting. So then we get Lashley versus Humberto Carrillo in a no disqualification match after last week in the gauntlet match to determine the last spot in Money in the Bank ladder match last week. It's a rematch from that. The match was pretty good. It ended when Lashley locked Humberto in a full Nelson, and he submitted a very different way for Lashley. You know, I know he's a skilled martial artist and everything like that, so it's very different than just him using his spear to try and do it. So very nice and creative way. After the match, he's in the back talking with MVP, and he's like, "Look, man, you're too talented to be going and fighting against Humberto Del Rio. Humberto, you should be fighting for the WWE Championship, so me and you need to talk." So that's definitely interesting. We'll see where that goes. Next, we had Tozawa taking on Garza. It's interesting because Zelina Vega's group, like, they started off so very strong, and in the last couple of weeks, they've just been decimated and beaten down by Drew McIntyre and in the gauntlet match. It's weird, you know. I don't know why. Like, why would you spend that whole entire episode building them up only to the weeks follow just tear them down? Maybe that's a Vince call. I don't know. And if it is, why would you do that? It makes no sense. But it is Vince. Garza ends up winning the match. For whatever reason, the trio continued to argue until Drew McIntyre comes out and he claymores Garza and Theory, which then leads to a match between him and Andrade. Very good match. Whenever these two in the ring together, they are magic in the ring. Andrade is targeting Drew's arm and everything like that. But in the end, you know what it is. Boom. Claymore. McIntyre wins. After the match, he cuts a promo on, there's this thing called the brand to brand challenge where a Raw supercar can challenge a SmackDown superstar and vice versa. I heard it was because, you know, the low ratings and the networks are like, yo, you guys need to do something to get these people, you know. I would have been more interested if you had Braun Strowman taking on Drew. That would have been interesting. That's a true champion versus champion, and that would be a good match. But no, instead we get King Corbin. But who doesn't like to see King Corbin lose, right? Next up, we had a moment of bliss. You know, so the tag team champions of Bliss Cross Applesauce are in the ring. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, and they're talking about the news. Oh man, I'll fix it later. They're talking about the news of Becky Lynch's pregnancy. When the Iconics come back, they return. They come and, you know, they challenge Bliss Cross Applesauce for the tag team titles. They get rejected, so they just go ahead and have a regular match. In the end, the Iconics win with some cheating. The referee doesn't see when Alexa gets pressed in her, when she gets struck in her throat, gets hit with a double move, and Iconics end up winning the match. So next week they're gonna have a tag team championship match. I don't expect them to win, but it should be a good match. It's good to see the Iconics back. I heard that they've been gone for 7 months, which is a long time, and I heard that they were getting repackaged, but they're the same. But it is good to have them back because there are not a lot of tag teams in the women division, so you need something. And another thing, weren't the tag team supposed to go to NXT as well? They haven't even done that, so let's expand this thing, man. You know, let's get this thing going. Anyway, next we had R-Truth, Cedric Alexander, and Ricochet taking on MVP, Brandon, Vink, and Shane Thorne in a 6-man tag team match. All throughout the match, R-Truth is distracting the other team with his Pretty Ricky gimmick. You know, it's like his alter ego thing that he does on social media. In the end, it costs. He used it to distract the referee, and no, he used it to distract MVP by giving his false teeth to the referee, which allows him to hit the lie detector for the win. After the match, he's celebrating until Bobby Lashley comes out and spears R-Truth, and he and MVP beat him down, and Lashley's like, we need to talk. So very interesting to see where this goes. I also heard a rumor that apparently they've been building Bobby Lashley up so he can be a credible threat and challenge Drew McIntyre at Backlash. So that definitely should be interesting. I believe that'll be his first world title opportunity since he's been back. So, excuse me. So that will definitely be good. Looking forward to that. What's next? This. Next we have Aleister Black and Rey Mysterio, who for some reason aren't dead, taking on the team of Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy, or I guess Murphy now. So last night, or not last night, 2 nights ago, if you were watching Money in the Bank, you saw Baron Corbin throw both Ray and Aleister Black to their deaths, but they were nowhere, they got thrown off the side of the building. But apparently there was another level 6 feet under, and they landed on that, so they were fine. But obviously we know there was a crash pad there and everything like that. But if you're gonna... they should be furious that they got thrown off a roof. So you would think they go after Baron Corbin, who was there to promote his match against Drew McIntyre, but no, they're just in a tag team match with Seth and Murphy, so that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, Seth hasn't been too cooperative tonight. He's just been in a daze, and I was very interested to see how Seth would be because the news, obviously, of him and Becky, but he had this dazed look on his face like he just was in shock, and I didn't know if... They really didn't explain it. They didn't say if it was because he lost to McIntyre or because he found out that he was going to be a dad. Maybe a combination of the both. I don't know. But the whole entire time, it's basically just 2-on-1 handicap match between Black and Ray taking on Murphy until Ray accidentally smacks into Seth. And here's when the dumb part comes in. So Ray's going for the 619. And Seth stops him and attacks him, and that causes a disqualification. That makes no sense. There have been plenty of times where during a match, someone was supposed to be there and they weren't there, and then someone comes out and they're like, oh, this must be the mystery opponent, or this must be the new replacement, and it's totally fine. But Seth Rollins is standing on the ring apron all night, not doing anything, and then all of a sudden it's interfered, that caused a disqualification. Why is Seth always in these weird predicaments? Like back in Hell in a Cell when they had the dumb match stoppage against The Fiend. That was dumb. And then now this doesn't make any sense. But anyway, he tells Murphy to stay back, and he's beating down Ray. He takes out Aleister Black, and then he pokes his eye into the staircase corner, and Ray's eye's bleeding, and it's gooey and all that stuff like that. And he's just saying, it's not your fault, Ray. It's not your fault, Ray. It's not your fault. So again, we don't even know why he was in this state. Is it because he lost to Drew? Is it because he's going to be a dad? Is it a mixture of both? Who the heck knows? But it was very interesting. After the commercial break, we go to the training room, and Seth comes in the back, and he's like, is Ray okay? I'm sorry. I have no idea what came over you. And Black is there, and he starts fighting Murphy, and then Seth just leaves. So it's very, very weird. So just wanted to point that out. Next, we had a basketball game between the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. So the whole thing about this is the Viking Raiders said, anything you can do, we can do better. So the Street Profits challenged them to a basketball game, and they completely united them. I think the score was like 74-2, and end of it. But turns out that was a lie, because after the commercial break, it turns out the Viking Raiders knew how to play all along, and they just did it to let the Street Profits feel good about themselves. So it's very interesting. I like where this is going. It actually reminded me of the storyline between Matt Hardy and MVP from years ago, when they were doing different things against each other to see who was the best, right? And so that's what it reminded me of. It was fun. I enjoyed it. So it's interesting. Maybe are the Viking Raiders going to choose something for the Street Profits to do, or are the Street Profits going to pick something else only for the Viking Raiders to show that they know what they're actually doing? Who knows? But very interesting, and I did enjoy it. Next up, we had Natalya taking on Shayna Baszler. The reason this match is happening is because Shayna Baszler was basically like, it's dumb for Becky to get pregnant and become a mom during the height of her career. It makes no sense. Natalya's like, that's dumb. It's the gift of motherhood. How could you say that? And so now they're going to have a match. But it's funny she says that, because is it her best friend who is Ronda Rousey? Didn't she leave in the middle of her career so she can start a family? So that's very interesting. I don't understand why they don't bring up Ronda Rousey. Like, there's obviously a connection there. Like, that makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever, but whatever. Anyway, the match between Shayna and Natalya was okay. The match ends with when Shayna tries to break Natalya's arm, but she gets out of the way. But unfortunately, she runs into a knee, and Shayna wins. After the match is when Natalya starts throwing a rampage and temper tantrum in the ring. So we'll see what that's about later. Maybe we won't. I don't know. Maybe she's just mad because she couldn't defend her friend. I don't know. And then finally, the end segment between Edge and Randy Orton. All night they've been talking about, is this thing over? Are they going to head to another collision course? What's up? So Edge comes out. He's got a new shirt. I'm going to get that shirt. I love Edge. It's called, I think it says like Get Grit or something like that. But anyway, he talked about how, he doesn't know why the WWE would advertise Edge going after Orton because he's good. He got his revenge already. So Orton comes out. He congratulates Edge on saying that he was the better man at WrestleMania. The better man won. And so he leaves. But then he comes back and he's like, look, the better man may have won, but not the better wrestler. See, you came back at the Royal Rumble, and that's nothing but a big fight, and you survived. You had a fight against me at WrestleMania, and you survived. But those are fights, and we come here to wrestle. And it's been 9 long years since you wrestled, so what do you say? So he challenged him to a match at Backlash, to a traditional wrestling match, which is weird because in feud it typically starts off with a wrestling match and then it goes to some stipulation. This started off with a stipulation and now it's going to end with a wrestling match. But for whatever reason, Edge was just like silent. He couldn't say anything. He was just dazed, like, I can't believe he did this. He knows my weakness. Oh my God, what am I going to do? It was very, very weird, but I love the tension. Edge and Randy Orton are together. I swear I thought that they were going to come out and they're going to be like, hey, we put our differences aside. Let's become rated RKO. That's what I legit thought they were going to do because they do that in wrestling. Don't be lying to yourself. They do that in wrestling. But no, that didn't happen. So then Raw fades to black and that's the end of it. Always good work between these two and I'm looking forward to the match when they have it. Why Edge is, concerned about it, I don't know. We've seen the documentary. It's not like he's hiding it. But I don't know. It's just part of the story. But speaking of which, something that I heard Brian Zane say, Wrestling with Regret. I love that guy. I love that channel. Go check him out. I want to give him the credit for this. Something he said yesterday on his Raw review, because it came out early in the morning. He said that for him, when it comes to wrestling and stuff, he cares more about the stories than the actual matches. And when he said that, I was like, wow, you know what? I'm actually the same way. Because I know these guys can put on a great matches. And that's typically not what the problem is what people have with WWE nowadays. The problem is the stories. And why are you fighting? Yes, we know you want the championship. But why are you fighting for it? Is it just because you want the championship? Or is there some personal thing going on here? Some beef you got with this guy? Like, that's what interests me. And I know, what does WWE constantly say? We're in the entertainment business. We entertain. So part of entertaining is gotta get the story right. Edge and Randy Orton's story is great. Speaking of another story, before we go, I didn't mention this, but Styles. So WWE showed a raw clip of the Undertaker documentary, which I saw episode 1. Great, loved it, by the way. And so he's checking it out. And then after the clip is over, he gets mad and he throws some popcorn on the ground and he storms out. While wearing an Undertaker shirt, mind you. So I love this whole thing that they're doing with Styles. Like, yes, Styles, he escaped the grave, but it looks like Undertaker's in his head and he hasn't gotten over it. You saw what happened when you saw the picture at headquarters. You saw what happened when you saw the room with the Undertaker lighting and the what do you call it? The casket in there. So what they're doing is great. I love it. What this clearly tells me is the feud between them is not over, and I expect something maybe at SummerSlam. I hope they don't wait till Survivor Series. I would hope that they like to do it at SummerSlam, and I cannot wait for that, because this clearly tells me that the story is not over between them. See, that's another story. That's storytelling. That's progressive. It shows that AJ Styles has not forgotten, and he's just angry, and he can't get over it, and it's great. I love it. Storytelling, man, because I know they'll put on a great match. It's but the story, does the story make sense? And this makes total sense of why AJ would feel this way, you know? So, overall, my first episode back to review on the channel, I gave the show a solid, I'm going to give it a B. I really, really enjoyed this episode. Nothing really was like, oh, I really don't want to watch this. But I really enjoyed it. First thing, you know, with the news with Becky again, and then with Edge and Orton and the whole Styles thing, and the whole thing with Seth, what's going on with him, and Bobby Lashley being built up as a monster again. I love all of it. It's great. So it was really great to have a good episode of Raw of this week. And I look forward to continuing and reporting more and reviewing more Raw, SmackDown, and current WWE. So with that being said, that's pretty much about it. So I will catch you guys, I guess, Saturday when I review SmackDown. Because unless something comes out with the Eagles, then I'll see you then. But until then, if you're not down with that, I've just got 2 words for you. Peace out, and I'll catch you guys later.